Chris, shall we start with you? Look, people are going to hear that the MHRA have said, look, anyone who has suffered with a significant allergic reaction previously, i.e. someone who perhaps carries an EpiPen, shouldn't take this vaccine. And that was quite immediate after the first day of vaccinations being administered. How significant is this?
Well, all drugs, all medicines, all interventions like this have side effects. There is no such thing as a drug with no side effect. All of us look different on the outside because we are genuinely genetically different, and that means we're all subtly very different on the inside biochemically. And when we make drugs and medicines, it's a best fit. It's a bit like going to the shoe shop, taking the first pair of shoes off the shelf and saying, please wear these. And we haven't measured everyone's feet individually. That's an aspiration of medicine in the future, to do that kind of personalised medicine. But this does mean you do occasionally get the pharmaceutical equivalent of an ill-fitting pair of shoes in a very small number of people. And the goal of making any kind of medicine and drug is to minimise the number of people who end up with a badly fitting pair of shoes. But it does happen. We do accept it happens. And the key thing here is the MHRA have been very fast to say, well, we've noticed this, we'll investigate, but in the meantime, as a cautionary note, we'll advise people who are in this particular position, and there are few of them, so it's not like we're expecting this to happen a lot, but just as a cautionary note, anyone in that situation shouldn't take this until we learn a bit more about why it happened in those two individuals.
OK, Chris, and just to pick up on your analogy then, because of the length of the approval process of this drug and the trial, were enough shoes tried on, so to speak, in terms of the number of people who were in the trial?
Well, tens of thousands of people have been involved in these sorts of trials. And so the answer is that were we doing this in a year's time, it's likely we would have looked at similar numbers of people. So I think it's really one of those things that if you look hard enough, eventually you will find cases like this. And so I'm not altogether surprised. As I say, all drugs come with side effects. And many people are very surprised to learn that if you take the world's best-selling, most popular painkiller, and that's aspirin, which is consumed around the world in ton quantities every year, and it saves millions of lives from heart attacks, from strokes, even from cancer, actually. It's an amazing drug. But if I invented aspirin today, and I tried to turn it into a drug that would be approved by our present rigorous processes, it would not be approved on the basis of a bad side effect profile. So the stringency of the filter applied these days is very, very tight indeed.
Yeah.